Hey, AJ Casada here, co-founder of Revenue Boost. And if you've been in the agency space for a while, you've probably heard of Jeff Miller. I've been in touch with Jeff for a couple of years, and he's a really like one of the smartest, brightest guys when it comes to the agency game. And what he's known for, what's really cool about his story is he's been able to build a seven-figure agency while having great work-life balance and not having to work so hard to run the business. He's really focused on like automating his delivery, his onboarding, his fulfillment, his sales process, and he's able to manage his clients in less than 30 minutes a week for each client, as well as having his sales process be like stupid simple. He runs ads to get clients, and he only really does like a 15-20 minute sales call. So he's really simplified the whole way of running an agency, and that's what I invited him to come on the podcast today to share about how he's been able to build a seven-figure agency and keep it more of a lifestyle business, keep it simple, keep it easy, automate things as much as possible, and have free time to enjoy life. And that's what I'm really big about as well. Like I've always wanted to, have time for my family, have time to travel, have time for my hobbies, while still having a great business and making a shit ton of money, right? And it is possible to have both. Jeff's gonna be sharing his journey, his story, and exactly how he did it for himself here on the show today. So definitely excited for this interview. Hope you should be too. And also, you might even already know Jeff from his Facebook group because he has the #1 biggest Facebook group for agencies on the planet. It's called Facebook Ad Agency Scaling Secrets, and it's got over 50,000 members. Great community there. You might know him from there as well. But if you're meeting him for the first time, you're definitely gonna love this interview. And also, I might look a little different in this. Jeff might look a little bit different as well because this was actually filmed over 2 years ago. So as you know, we recently launched this YouTube channel, and if you're one of the first few subscribers, thank you so much for being here. Your support means the world. But we just recently launched this YouTube channel, so what I wanted to do is I wanted to go back to our podcast, which we've been running for years, How to Scale an Agency, which you can find on iTunes and Spotify. And as we launch this YouTube channel, I want to kind of handpick some of my absolute favorite podcast interviews we've done, because we've done over 300 podcast episodes, right? So when I was going back to look at our vault and find some of the most interesting episodes and guest interviews we had on the podcast, I wanted to find some of the best ones, some of my favorites, and put them on the show. And this made that list. This is one of my favorite interviews we've done on the podcast. So it's a little bit old, but the stories, the lessons, the principles still work today. Of course, it's only 2 years old. So anyway, just wanted to say that just because you might find this, if you've been following us for a while, you might have heard this a long time ago on the podcast, but chances are you're seeing it for the first time. So anyways, enjoy it, and let's go over to the interview.
Jeff, super pumped to have you here. And Thanks for taking the time to share some value, share some of your secrets. Most people watching this probably know who you are, but for some of those that don't, you want to just give a little background on what you do, what your business is all about?
Yeah, man. So name is Jeff, and my agency is called Cool Beans Digital. And I started it probably 5 years ago. And there was all this huff and puff. What do you name your business? What do you name it? It was this this huge fucking thing through my head. And everybody's, you got to name it like it was the one shot you're ever going to get. And I didn't know what to do. So I read the book by Ryan Levac called The Ask Method. He's just ask people. And I was like, okay, fine. So I ran my first customer research survey, and 3 people were like, man, if you could do that'd be Cool Beans. That's the name of the company. End of discussion. I was like, that's it. So we named the company Cool Beans Digital, and we started 5 or 6 years ago. The first guy I paid for it was Dan Henry, the Curious Student. And nice. I was shaking my hand with my credit card. I was like, this is the 997 I had. Because up to then, the first real job I ever had, I got fired 3 times in 9 months from it. And I had to move back home. That's a whole shit show, right? We'll talk about that if we want to. But I've been starting 5 or 6 years, did bike shops, car washes, never really picked a niche or anything like that. And just started really documenting my journey. Now there's 65,000 people as part of the ASFAM, so the Agency Scaling Secrets. Some people don't know that Agency Scaling Secrets, ASFAM. And there's people from all over the world. Say what?
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, so that's the logo, Agency Scaling Secrets. And that's because a fella named, this is the strangest collection of characters. So this guy's name is Ball Deep. Think about that. That's his real name. Indian and Mexican is Ball Deep, okay? And I met him in person at an event in Colorado by John Logar. And he and I were chatting, and he said, my name is Ball Deep. And I was like, people keep fucking with me. And he's like, no, I'm serious. I was like, fine. We just got along pretty well. And I launched my public group, and he sends me a message, and he goes, hey, dude, there's something wrong with your banner. And I'm like, what? He goes, you put Agency Scaling Secrets. I'm like, yeah. And he goes, that mean you have ass on your banner. I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Stop fucking with me. I'm not emotionally available at this moment for this. And he goes, no, and he highlights it and he circles it. I'm like, God damn it, man. Oh, fuck. And at this point in the agency journey, just like everybody else, you're very sensitive on negative input. You're like, oh, I can't believe I'm doing this wrong. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I don't know what to do. So I asked a fella in Coconut Grove, an older guy, and Arnie Giske happened to be in town. And at the time he ran the millennial entrepreneur community, 80,000 people. And the weird part about the internet is the more strange, unique, and extreme you are, the more people are attracted to you. Like being normal is weird. Being weird is normal. And I was like, so you're telling me that the ass logo is weird and I should keep it? And he goes, yeah. I said, what do I got to lose? And that was like 5 years ago. And now it's 64,000 people. As far as like the agency, we do bike shops, car washes. We used to, and then COVID, and then everything got shut down. And now we do medical research clinics, blood centers, and a bunch of dentists as well. And it's been a crazy journey ever since, man. Like we've ended up creating like weird ways of working, like sneaky surveys and welcome texts, what to say on the sales call so people like want to buy your stuff before they get in the sales call, how to generate agency leads like B2B or client getting leads and customer getting leads, and setting everything up in 30 minutes, like copy and paste fulfillment. It's been a crazy journey. And
yeah, man, it's awesome. And I've been following a lot of it. I think when I first got in the agency space 4.5, 5 months ago, I was part of your group, and it was way smaller then, but it's cool to see how the groups progress and you've progressed as well. And I didn't know that the ass was accidental, but I love how you owned it.
It's crazy, dude. Like the shame and the fear and the flustering, the frustration, the, oh my God, is this right? It's just so massive when you're starting out. And when you get 4 or 5 blocks down the line, you realize how small it was. Like you just made such like a big deal out of nothing. And when I started the group, like you had to invite a person. And for 3 months, it was just one person because I refused to go live or tell people about it. Like I was ashamed of something could go wrong or whatever. You just, you're very sensitive starting out. And then we went live, and the way we launched it is I made a post on my group, or a post on my personal profile saying, hey, I've got this thingy. If you want to join, you have to join the group, and leave an elephant gif. And then I got so nervous, I shut the laptop and I walked away. I was like, I can't deal with this. Shut the fucking laptop. Next day I opened it up and there's 500 elephant gifs. And I was like, holy crap. And that helped me realize that like the way people make progress, especially on the selling and lead generation side, is you need a lot of positive reinforcement in the beginning. Like you have to turn yourself from a boulder into a boat. Like boulders require constant pushing, and you can push it and it goes the wrong fucking direction. Boats are always moving and you just have to rudder it ever so slightly. And transitioning myself and my business from a boulder into a boat, that was like a key thing. And we'll probably talk about that for a bit. But my entire agency journey has been equal success, equal failure, and frustration the whole way through. So if anybody's starting out, like, man, I feel it. It's a challenge, even though it shouldn't be. It's a fucking challenge.
Oh, I love that you talk about the hard parts of it, because I know me and you both definitely see so many ads posts on Facebook of people saying, hey, start a copy and paste agency. You can get it up in 2 weeks. Yeah. Super annoying. And there's definitely some things that are easier about the agency business than other businesses. Like for one, it's not capital intensive. You don't have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars before you make a profit. But no business is easy, and it's for sure a grind, especially in the beginning.
Yeah, everyone's got, every industry and every product and every agency, every person has their own little signature of like way of working. And I think understanding like your agency signature and your customer signature, and like as strange as it is from like when you're talking with clients and they say, so what type of results can you expect? Like they'll ask that question. The way you answer it directly influences whether or not they buy and whether or not they're happy with fulfillment. When they ask questions like, so do you have any previous results or case studies? How you answer it also directly affects your relationship and how they talk to you and whether or not you get the sale, and then fulfillment. And you don't know that when like you get the 2-week copy and pasting. You're like, I just read the script and then they were supposed to, everybody said, you're like, no, man, like you have to understand the finities of like how people talk and communicate ideas and confidence and certainty and stuff like that. But yeah, man.
Yeah, for sure, dude. So with that said, like if someone's a newer agency or they don't have a load of social proof or case studies yet, how would you normally advise someone to answer that?
So the easiest thing to do if you are an online advertising agency starting out is to get clients by advertising the fact that you do an online advertising agency. Like that's the easiest thing to do. You just put an ad on the internet saying, hey, this is what I do. Would you like to pay me money? There are other ways that do it very well that I've experienced, such as like in-person events, a strong referral network, doing content, stuff like that. The challenge is you're doing a vehicle switch. So it's like hey, the way I got you to be a client was with referrals, but the way you're going to get customers is with online advertising. They go, why don't I just do referrals? Why don't I just do what you did to me? And it just feels weird. And the ability to excel and the difficulty level increases massively. It's doable. Like when I was selling to in-person businesses, so like we had this whiteboard of money, right? So people would come in and we jam out and I write out the board and all that. I met them in person and they would say, what do you do? I say, I do online advertising. So the way we met was in person, but I'm trying to sell them online advertising. It's just a lot easier to sell online advertising to somebody who saw your ad about online advertising. And the reason why is because the simplest objection is, do I know if this would work? Like that's the
Yeah.
easiest objection, no matter what. Is it going to work? If you can say it worked on you, so it'll probably work for you. Okay, sure, I'm in. It's like the easiest alignment ever. If you do it any other way, there's always going to be that navigation of objection handling and what you say and how to say and the finity of it. It's just a bit of a challenge. So if you're starting out, the easiest thing to do to get an online advertising client is to advertise online. Then everything else lines up.
Yeah, then you're on your own case study pretty much.
Correct. You can literally go to them and say, hey, man, I hear you loud and clear. I know other agencies and blah, blah, blah. It didn't work in the past. I'm just here to tell you that I'm running ads to people just like you. I'm on the phone with people just like you 3 or 4 times a day. And these seem to be pretty productive conversations. What do you say? We're not trying to sell each other. You already agreed to the product and the price because it was in the ad. Let's just see if we're a cultural fit. And they go, oh, yeah, that makes sense. And go, here's the cool part, Mr. Johnson, is the ad that I did that worked on you. I'm going to do it for you. And we're going to make it right now. They go, oh, that's so cool. And it looks the same. It's just a lot easier to have that conversation than it is to have any other. So if somebody's starting out, like just run ads, man. It's very simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. Like you can do a talking head video. You can do a text video, which we'll talk about in a bit. I'll give everybody the exact copy I'm using to like generate clients. And I don't even know what your question was. I just started talking again.
Totally. I don't remember either, but it was all good stuff. No, that's good, man. It's showing versus telling. I remember last week I was explaining to a client about the funnel we're going to help him set up. And midway, he was like, wait a second, that's what you did on me. He's like, I went through that. I watched him be mind blown.
Yeah. And then it's going to be a much easier sell because they already converted. And not converted to say like religiously converted. Like they're part of the tribe now. They self-identify. They're like, oh, it makes sense now. Okay, fine. The challenge, of course, is if you're doing that vehicle switch, but you can skip that just by doing online advertising. So again, if you're starting out, just advertise online. The second thing is to not use a biz oppy ad. And AJ, you'll know exactly what I mean when I describe it, which is what if we added $50,000 a month to your business overnight, or we refund you $1 billion in 30, like that type of like statement plus risk reversal. That works on digital marketers. That don't work on done for you normal everyday businesses. It's very scammy, very salesy, very aggressive, very alarming. Facebook hates that type of stuff. And the people that have been on that respond positively to it are the worst type of clients. Like their business isn't set up. They're near zero. Like you got to sell them hard. Like money is a problem and a significant objection. If it's not, the conversation is, well, what would I do even if I got one? That's a conversation you don't want to have in the done for you lead gen sign. What would I do even if I got one? You want to have the, yeah, man, I know exactly what to do. I just need more phone calls or I need more shows or something like that. That's a perfect lead gen person. The second thing is don't run biz oppy ads. Instead, just run what we call product and price ads, which is, all right, this is what I do and this is how much I charge. That's all you have to do. And most of probably 90% of the money that I make with my client getting, and this is now we're talking about like selling and getting leads, is simply running a Canva ad, like a text-based ad. No copy, no like advanced customer research, nothing like deep, meaningful, insightful, and changing and blah, 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 and like the hook story offer. If it works, man, it works. But I found that the best sales and the best fulfillment and the best clients I have come from a very stupid, simple ad. And I'll just draw it out right here. So you go on Canva, you get an Instagram size, and it's a square, right? And then you just type a whole bunch of stuff in the top, and it says, do you want this? Or did you want this? Or can I get you this? That's it. And it has the stuff, and then it has a price, and that's it. And the cool part about having these like limited options is it forces action, number one, and two, it forces feedback. So the big hurdle that everybody has is, but what if my ad doesn't work? What if like this? What if that? Is it perfect yet? I need to change it. And that's because you have too many things to change and too many variables. If you just have 3 pieces to your desk, you've assembled it in 30 minutes. If you've got 1.5 million variables, it's going to take you 6 months to make a decision. And that just sucks, right? So if you just have a text-based ad, again, not copy, but a picture with words in it, you remove the, am I good looking enough? You remove the, did I hook story offer correctly? You remove the sound problem. You remove the creative problem. You remove the options problems. No, man. This is what I do, and this is how much I charge. And the mastery is, again, the product. This is what you do. And then this is the price point. The mistake they make is going in and saying, I'm going to do all this stuff. You don't want to do all this stuff. You just want to do one thing, maybe two. And that makes it very easy for the person to make a decision. If you are advertising all the stuff that you're going to do, you're going to have 15 bullet points, and then they're not going to sure what they want to buy, and they just pass. And I know this because I've tried. Like I wrote down the 15 things we do for a client at Done For You side. Nobody fucking bought that at all. I wrote down the one thing that we do for clients, or maybe the two thing, and put a price, and everybody bought it. So again, number one, if you're starting out advertising an online advertising client, number two is have a very stupid, simple ad. Product and price, nothing else. Make it clear that you charge money. Don't do a BizOppi ad. Just go, hey man, this is you, right? This is what I do. Do you want me to do it for you? Here's the price. And then your sales will become massively easier. Versus the opposite way, which is, hey man, we got to optimize for cost per lead or optimize cost per show or cost per booking. And then the problems that come with unclear ads with the unique thing or the unique mechanism, like I'm not really sure what this is, but I'm interested. Then all of a sudden the effort goes to selling and then the effort goes to fulfillment. And we've run both strategies, and the unhappiest I've ever been with my agency is when we had that unclear, I'm not sure BizOppi ad with huge guarantee, and that just forced all the problems to the downside. And we had a funnel business, like you mentioned earlier, like a funnel, right? Like this, right? As a small business owner and an agency that services small business owners, very few local businesses think of the word funnel. Like out of 99 businesses you talk to, one is going to say funnel. The rest just say open shop or walk-ins or something like that. Like they don't view their business as a funnel. They view your business as a pipe. Get them in the door and everything is fine. That's how they view it. And they want all the effort on the ad. Cool. So we just do the same thing for myself, for them. And the ad operates, transforms the business from a funnel where you got to put effort into each step into a pipeline, where as long as they pass through the ad, there's a 99% chance of them converting. So like that's probably like the top 2 or top 3 things. And it's really not hard to do. You just have to get through some mental head trash and minimize the I don't knows and the I'm not sure's and the variability like we talked about earlier. And then it's not hard. You and I both know this. Like the mechanical nature is not hard. There's nothing stopping you from typing. It's just all the mental trash and having unorganized thoughts and not really sure. Like that type of stuff usually stops you a lot more than Facebook saying your stuff isn't approved.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think in the beginning, the actions are simple. For me, thinking back to my journey in the beginning, it was just mostly the mindset crap to get through.
Which sucks. Why do I have to go through this emotional exhaustive process of changing my identity so I can go to the gym? Like, just go to the gym, right? Like, you'll figure it out as you get there. But that's not how like business works. And I remember Andrew, who we talked about earlier, mentioning that business is just our personalities amplified 10 times over. So if we are personally insecure about what we do in our place in the world, so will our business be. And that will be amplified 10 times over. If I feel non-confident or non-certain about blah, 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 so will the business 10 times over. And then that's where it gets like all sorts of weird, like self-programming and hypnotizing yourself and changing your identity and like worldview shifting. And I've been in this game for 6 years and I still spend most of my day fighting my brain. Like my default is everything is a scam on the internet. That's where my brain is. Everything's a scam. Nothing is worth it. Like it's always negative. And I think that's because Facebook and YouTube, like I'm just amplified. Like I just tend to click on the negative stuff. Like I watch those like road rage videos all the time. So I'm assuming everybody has road rage, even though 99, just that's how I live my life. But you and I both know 99% of the time you're on the road, there's no problem.
Yeah.
So I have to fight that. It's the same way with business. Like 99% of the time is going to be fine, but your brain tends to over amplify the 1% or 0.1% chance of problem. Like we're just like, structurally, I believe that human beings as an animal are more identified to the 1 out of a million things that could kill you than the 99 million things that won't. Again, evolution and not dying is a good thing. But in business, there's no bears. There's no polar bear that's going to run out of the bushes and attack you. It's not going to happen. But if you're sitting there going, which button do I click because I don't want to make a fucking mistake and then not pay my mortgage, it's the same part of your brain having an existential crisis. If you just click one, it'll be fine. It's going to work. If it doesn't, you can click the other one. So having to fight that is a big chunk of my day. And the more I fight it, the better business becomes. Like, it's just interesting how that turns out.
Yeah, it's interesting. I can think back to a lot of scenarios where a business problem was related to a personal problem. It really is like an extension of your personality and mindset.
Yeah, sucks. There's always the note taking and the writing down. I try to do that as much as possible. Whether I'm writing an ad or a story or an offer or communication, having something like that. And then quantifying everything that could go wrong. So that means like everything that could possibly go wrong with a campaign or client conversation, and then quantifying it. That says, okay, look, if I choose a bot today, what could possibly go wrong? It won't work. Could I figure that out? I'll make a VSL, but what if it doesn't convert? Okay, I'll figure it out. So just going through the simple I'll figure it out process is like easiest. But the biggest devil on the shoulder is actually what if it works. So it's rarely, we'll talk about what if it doesn't work, what if it fails. But the fear of success is just as big, if not bigger. What if I told Justin right now, he's going to have 5 client conversations back to back of people that are ready to buy from him right here, right now? Is he going, let's fuck go. I'm ready. I'm excited. Or going, oh shit, dude, I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
So like when I talk to my dentist, and again, we'll talk about like how to sell and generate leads. The conversation is what if it doesn't work? That's like a small part. Like it's amplified, but it's really a small part. The problem is actually, what if it does work? What if I'm on the phone with somebody that wants to spend $30,000 with me, and then I realize that my staff doesn't know how to talk, or I don't have the suppliers, or don't blah, blah, blah. So you have to have everything set up correctly, and then they'll buy from you, which means that they're not going to buy from you because nothing's going to be set up correctly. So you have to navigate that sales conversation pretty quickly and effectively. And then again, your selling becomes easier, fulfillment becomes easier. And we'll talk about this in a bit, but I've had 4 or 5 12-month contracts signed on a napkin or the 15-minute phone call. And they were happy. Everything was working. We've got a $5,000 client. We're walking with like 80% margins, plus or minus. And I haven't talked to him for more than 15 minutes once a month. I've got a $6,500 client, again, 80% margins. And she's, man, my staff hates you so much. They got to do these callbacks and people are coming in. I'm like, yeah, man, sucks to make money. She's hot. And that's our text message conversations, right?
Yeah.
I'll have 750-month dentists that are like, Jeff, could you please just give me more results? And I go, I'd love to, but man, based upon our conversation, your challenge is that if you get more than 3 per month, everything's going to break. So are you ready? And they're like, no. I was like, all right, fix that. And then come back and then I'll triple the budget and you'll pay more money, that type of thing. I don't know if you want to talk about selling or lead gen yet, but I'm just trying to make it relevant for everybody.
No, dude, let's dive into it. I think it's a great segue. And just to comment, what I liked about what you said before about your ads is, first of all, because they're so simple, there's just less to optimize, right? There's not 10,000 steps in a funnel that we have to play around with.
Mobile versus desktop, red versus blue, headline. Oh my God, dude.
I know. When you distill it down to just the core elements, then you're just testing the actual core message and the audience and the offer pretty much.
I don't know where everybody's based out of, but we got a grocery store named Publix down in Florida. Like southeastern US is like Publix territory, right? Everybody fights about that. And when you look at the way Publix advertises, and they do $2 billion a month in sales, the way IKEA advertises, the way Tesla advertises and Apple advertises, they just go, yeah, dude, this is the book. By the way, everybody should read Psycho Cybernetics. But yeah, this is the book and this is the price you want or not. End of fucking discussion. They're not saying schedule like an extra call and go through 4 or 5 steps. They go, this is the fucking thing you want or not. And then you just keep scrolling and you ignore it. And then if you do like it, and if you do want it, it becomes more of like a checkout or an assisted checkout process. They're like, all right, tell me more about the phone, blah, blah, blah. That's how my sales calls are. It's very simple. It's super awesome. And I wouldn't go back to any other way. This is the product. This is the price. All right. What would you like to know? Yeah. No, I'm not crazy, man. I'm just a dude running a business just like you. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm in Miami. Oh, that's interesting. What does the ad look like? The ad looks like this. And I'll send it to him by screenshot or like by text message and all that. And then it's a 15-minute, 3 or 4 month contract really fast.
Awesome. Yeah. And I think with those ads, you're basically attracting like the solution aware part of the market, right? They're already they're already looking for a solution, right? They're not trying to go through a ton of education.
We call them Costco shoppers. Hey, I'm ready to buy and I'm just looking for the price. That's it. So they'll go on Costco. They'll like either in person or on the website, and they'll look at the fridges and do all the research about the fridges. And then they come and then they buy. I go, fucking great. That's the top 8% of the market or whatever it is, like that pyramid, right? The bottom 92 is everybody's spending so much time researching and educating, and they're not wrong, but that's exhausted, man. That's very expensive. There's a lot of variables. And having to go through an educational process as a person who generates leads and sells, like that's a lot. That's a marketer's job or that's a YouTube job. That's a research job, like all that. It's just a lot easier to advertise to people that want to buy, and more specifically, people have money. And then just go, yeah, dude, this is going to be very easy. This is the price. Let's talk. And then like when I started doing that, I was winning out contracts with people that are like, yeah, we're in the negotiation phase with another agency. I'm like, there's no negotiation phase with me, man. You're like, really? Yeah. And if you want, I'll send you the proposal, which is 5 bullet points. I'll show you right now. And then jokingly, I'll either screen share it or just take my phone and take a picture of it and send it to them. Yeah, that's a proposal. And they go, oh, so there's nothing? I'm like, no, man, don't fucking call your lawyer. It's just gonna be more expensive. Why would I want that? It's just a lot easier to say, this is it. And you're going to have to pay no matter what, regardless of results. There's no refunds. Like, oh, so there's no like 100 appointments guaranteed. Nope. And they go, oh, that sounds better. Yeah. Like it's just a lot easier to do that. Removing the appointment setter and letting the ad do the process, removing the salesperson and just having me do the selling, removing the complications of the follow-up and all that, and just answering text messages is just a much easier way of running business. And somebody's probably going to ask the question, Rami says, how do you find the top 8% that are ready to buy? Just advertise your product and your price. Like IKEA isn't doing, hey, have you been thinking about changing your home over the next 24 months. Download our 8 video step series. I'm like, dude, I'm sure that works, but IKEA don't do it. So I'm going to do what IKEA does. The way IKEA advertises, they go, hey, this is the thing and this is the price. Did you want it? It's going away in 2 months. So act now. All right, that season's out. We got new stuff. And it's just much easier for me to run shop that way and keep the margins high and keep the team tight. And
like you said, you don't need an appointment setter, and you still do all the closing yourself just because the calls are so quick and simple.
It's 15 minutes. Everybody's friendly. Nobody's like yelling at me down my throat. And the cool part is I use the term non-professional, but incredibly authentic. And most people do not want to buy from a professional. Like, when was the last time you bought something from somebody wearing a suit? It's just weird. Nobody likes that. Who wears a suit? Are you a car dealer? What is that? Like, it just feels funky. But when you're like somebody's incredibly authentic and curses on a call and says, you know, man, like, I fucking hate my team. This is entirely unacceptable. Like, I am spending all this money in marketing, generating all these calls for paying this agency, generating all these calls for my own team. They can't even fucking call people back. I go, yeah, Mr. Johnson, like, it sucks because it sounds like you're being pretty authentic with your feelings. And I don't want to hide behind professionalism. Like, you want to have that relationship.
Yeah.
Like, you just want to be more of you, and your clients will like naturally be more okay with that than you trying to put on a mask or something like that. And it's much easier to run shop that way. I remember one guy that I closed, Dr. D, and we were texting back and forth. So like, he signed up, and this is a script that everybody can use. So people will sign up to the ad, product, and price, and then use your phone. Try to use your phone. Maybe if you're like, your international not going to work, figure out a way, find GHL. But I'll tell you what, when I use my cell phone, I have 100% throughput. Like, there's no opening and closing rates. There's no shake and stir. There's no CNAME. It just fucking says Jeff. And I sent a text message to go, hey, it's Jeff. Did you fill out a form about blank at blank price? And then they say yes. I say, okay, cool. Did you schedule a time to talk? And they go, yeah. I go, okay, cool. You want me just to call you now instead of waiting? They go, yeah. So now I've got the same day sales call. That's it. And if they say, no, tomorrow 2 p.m. is fine, it's like, all right, cool. I'll see you then. That's it. That's the confirmation and appointment setting, the follow-up. That's it.
Right.
You only really need, by the way, like 3 to 5 leads a day to be massively successful as an agency or a client. And as long as those leads are somewhat competent, like real, everything is cool.
Yeah.
So you send that text message, and then you call them, and Dr. D was driving. And I was like, all right, that's cool, man. Let me get in my car. I'll call you during rush hour. They go, cool. Like, super non-professional, but incredibly authentic. And I put the phone on speaker. I open my laptop. I record it. And we're just talking about stuff. Like, not even like agency, not ads, not business. That's just like stuff. And he's like, oh, so you're based out of Miami? He's like, yeah, where are you based at? Oh, yeah, Baltimore. Okay, cool. You didn't move there, did you? He's like, nah, I was born here and I had to come back. About medical. I was like, oh, yeah, I went to Wash U way back in the day. I tell you what, those weathers are, I don't get it. Like, it's spring and summer and fall in the same day. And we laughed about that. And we talked about the show The Wire about Baltimore for a little bit. And it was just us doing like a culture check. Are we crazy and are we getting along? Because he knows he wants the thing. We already talked about that in the ad. Okay. We already talked about the price and the dollars. I don't have to ask him like, so how many are you doing? What's stopping you? Why hasn't this worked in the past? I'm not really asking those like stabby qualification questions. We're doing a culture check. Am I qualified? Am I authentic? Am I competent? Same way with you. So the way our sales call process goes, like, all right, Mr. Johnson, this is how it's going to work. I'm going to ask you a couple questions about you and your business just to make sure that you're a good fit for me. And then I'm going to tell you how I run shop and how much it costs to make sure that I'm a good fit for you. And then we'll know if we want to do business in 15 minutes. Is that kosher? And he goes, yeah, sure, fine. I go, all right, so tell me what's going on with your shop. Are you looking for X? Are you looking for Y? How's your CBCT machine? So you want to pepper in some industry lingo and knowledge, which you can do by watching enough YouTube clips. And look, blah, 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 blah. Okay, yeah, sure, fine. All right, so tell me what's going on. And then they'll talk for like 10 to 15 minutes. Great. I've already done enough of these where I don't have to take notes from the beginning. You can. And then at the end of it, he goes, okay, that's it. I go, all right, you want me to talk for a bit? He goes, yeah. I said, all right, so I'm going to tell you the program works. And I just go through the 4 or 5 parts of my program. And then I say, and we charge X dollars per month. It's a 4-month agreement. If you pay today, we could probably get the ads up and running before you get home. And he goes, really? I go, yeah, we have 30-minute fulfillment, assuming everything is kosher on your end. But like, I'll build this stuff myself. And he goes, wow. I go, yeah. If you want, like, we could spend another 4 weeks negotiating, but, and he does that. He does like the internet sniff. And then he goes, okay, so send the proposal. I go, I just did. And I can use a DocuSign or I can do a copy and paste with text message or whatever. He says, okay, this is it. I go, nothing else there is. That's it. It says you can't use our stuff without our permission. It's 4 months no matter what. You got some other stuff like you got to pick up the phone and schedule people appropriately. Don't be scheduling people 3 months out. You know what I mean? He goes, yeah, that makes sense. I say, if you do that, they're going to go somewhere else and you're going to lose the 30 grand. He goes, yeah. I said, look, my job is to run the ads, click on it and generate you, blah, blah, blah. Usually, out of 10 leads, 7 are trash, 3 or 4 are good enough. And it's up to you to take it from there. As long as you can pick up the phone and have a qualifying conversation, you can be successful with this. He goes, okay, that's it. And that's a 15-minute sales call that'll sign a 3, 4, 5-month agreement. And again, it's not being professional. It's not have everything perfect. It's really quieting that everything's going to go wrong side of your brain. Imagine if I let that devil win, I'm like, what if I'm stuck in traffic and the internet doesn't work and he has to do a video lesson? You don't want to have that. You want to have the progress. You want to be a boat, not a boulder. And we've signed most of our contracts that way. Just talking over the phone. Sometimes we'll do a screen share. And if I get a feeling like he's being suspicious or she's being suspicious, I go, look, can we just do like a screen share so you can see my face, see my screen, know I'm legitimate? And they go, yeah. I go, cool. So I send them the Zoom link. I go, yeah, it's me. I got a picture in my head. That was a joke. Now I need to keep it. It's a little studio. Sometimes I'm at my house. So I go, like, yeah, this is our house. Work from home. That works pretty well. And now we don't have to pay for like facilities, maintenance, insurance. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's like an extra 30%. That's why we have low prices. They go, oh, okay. So that's the whole selling process. And we'll find the vast majority of people, like 80% of people on the phone with, will convert within 48 hours, which is if you don't have that fast turnaround on cash and conversions, you have a death knell of your agency. Imagine if you spend $100 on an ad and then 3 days later, you got a $3,000 contract. That's massively confident. There's not enough time for your brain to think it doesn't work. All right, we just signed somebody 2 days later. So like they signed up on Monday and we got a paying client on Wednesday. Like how cool is that? Versus having all right, you got to talk to an appointment setter and then got to talk to a salesperson. Then we have to schedule a demo. And then you have to
calls. And
then it's stretched out. And then they're suspicious, you're suspicious. And you're like, holy shit, dude. And then it ends up taking 3 weeks to get the campaign up and running. So now you could argue that there's a 3 weeks delay on your retainer, you're recurring. But more importantly is you have 19 days of wonder if it's going to work. And then somebody like me is just going to show them an ad. This is the thing you can sign up tomorrow.
Yeah. That's the thing when you're having that super dragged out sales process, like they could just go sign with someone else. You're not usually just talking to one person.
Correct. So having a lead generation process and having a sales generation process or selling steps, whatever we're calling it, that is like non-professional, massively authentic. And it's a very easy as price point because as a marketer, you should be getting return on ad spend and return on investment. You should be thinking of your business like that. And yeah, there's a whole cohort of people that charge what they're worth. And come on, man, IKEA doesn't charge what they're worth. They charge what people buy. So what I'm doing is I'm always playing with my prices. So in the beginning, we went to market and we were like, hey, it's this for $3,500 a month. And it took 6 to 8 weeks. And we forgot about the costs associated, not just emotionally, but financially. Like you got to pay somebody, you got to follow up. It's on the board. You're not really sure. They're shopping. You're freaking out the whole time. 6 weeks. We lowered our price and then it came down. Lower price, it came down. Lower price, it came down. So now we're advertising $750 a month and we're getting a 2-day turnaround. Fucking great. You're doing 5 to 10 return on ad spend. Beautiful. Now we're going to be testing a $4.99. And I want to get it to a point where 80% of the calls are closed on the right there within 30 minutes. So that means ideally what we've done is we've taken $100 of ad spend and turned it into $2,500. So 5 month at $500 a month within 24 hours, which is a lot more exciting than a 4 month 750. So $5,000 versus, or 2,500 versus $3,000. Like I want to get as tight as possible and just get people saying yes within 24 hours. And then all the cool stuff happens. Like you end up becoming like White Shark Media or something like that. There's doing like 40 million a year on $500 a month contracts and everything is copy and paste. And you don't even talk to them. Like they don't have to, they have email support. You don't even have a salesperson. They just send checkout forms. That's it. Like their customer support sends checkout forms. Great. What can I do for you? I'm interested in buying this, but I have a question. Okay, cool. Here's the answer. They copy and paste it. Somebody says, okay, I'm ready. Great. Would you like me to check that out for you? Okay, sure. Yeah, here, use that link, or I can take your credit card. They take the credit card and everything is set up. And now you have no sales costs. You have no appointment setting costs. Customer support is done through the same box. So they're pretty happy with that. And you can get your fulfillment done in 30 minutes. That's where the dream is. So that's what we're going to be testing out now. And we're going to see what happens with that.
So are you doing anything to get people to decide within 48, 72 hours, or it's just because how straightforward the process and the offer is and the competitive pricing as well?
So that's about 80 to 90% of the success. So like nailing the product and the price.
Yeah.
Right. Like the 4 P's of marketing or whatever the hell it's called. If you nail that, you're going to be successful 90% of the time. The other 10% of the time is the worry, the wonder, I'm not really sure. there's an argument that those people are like the wrong type of client, but there's also room for improvement to grow as like a salesperson. So there's a couple things that I can do for that little 10%. By the way, it should be a minority. You should not be getting people that are like giving objections or I'm not sure or the I don't know. You shouldn't have to exercise salesperson-ness the majority of the time. It should be the minority of the time. The vast majority should be product and authenticity and you and your process and your way of working, not salespersonness. But let's just say, so 90% of it works, 10% of the time you get a sales conversation. And they're like, but what type of results could I expect? That's like the big thing. Like they'll get that. And so they'll say that question to me. I go, honestly, I'll tell you what, with like lead generation, I would say like 10 leads, 7 are total trash. And they go, yeah. I go, from the 7, they're trash because they're not real phone numbers. They go, yeah. And now I'm agreeing with them. I'm not fighting them. Like, yeah, they're bad phone numbers or they're bad fit or they got no money. They're complete time wasters. And they go, yeah. I go, of the remaining 3, those are people that are interested in buying your stuff, want to come in acceptable amount of time and want to have a conversation with somebody about buying it. That's what works. And so we send only the 3, not the remaining 7. And they go, oh, I go, yeah. So out of the 3, you'll be on the phone with all of them. And then if you schedule the same day or next day, you're going to get about 1 or 2 of them to come in. And one of those is ultimately going to buy what somebody has to sell. And they go, what does that mean? I go, either they're buying from you or buying from somebody else because these are people shopping. Like they're actively going to Costco looking for a fridge. And those are the easiest buyers. You just have to be nice to them and get them in and quote them correctly. And then they're going to buy from you. So out of 10, 7 are trash. 3 are good enough to send your way. Of the 3, 1 or 2 are going to come in, one of them is going to make a buying decision. That's where you got to do your thing. You still got to sell, Mr. Johnson. So you got to be a good business owner. You got to take care of them. They're good stewards of their dollars, but they're coming in saying that they're qualified. And in your terms, Mr. Johnson, that's like credit score. They've been looking for a while. They want to buy stuff. And that, by the way, like me saying that relieves a lot of that iceberg of objections. Like that relieves is Jeff an expert? I'm not saying I'm not an expert. I'm saying you got to be the expert. You got to sell them. These people are actively shopping. What we've done is we removed the bad ones, like people that aren't good enough, got no money. We got the good ones. So we cut the bottom half off. You have the flour. So we don't have to worry about being an expert in their niche or their industry. They don't particularly care about the ad or the ad setup, A/B testing, nothing like that doesn't come up at all. They do care about like return on investment. And I can say, look, I don't have any numbers on return on investment, but I'm going to send you recordings. Actually, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to push play. Listen to this call. This is the type of stuff you can expect. They go, okay. So I push play and it's me on the phone talking with the lead saying, hey, this is Jeff with Miller Dental. Of course, it's like a fake company. And I go, hey, I think you filled out a form about dental implants. Is that right? They go, yeah. I say, all right, cool. Let me just bring up the form and information. This is really like a qualifying call to see if you're a good fit for us and we're a good fit for you. But just want to make sure you saw our ad that said blank price at like 22,000. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, cool. And so just to get the money out of the way, are you planning a payment plan, financing, down payment? What are you thinking? And then I'm taking notes, right? And I'll go through 5 or 6 qualifying questions. At the end of it, I'll say, okay, great. We got everything. It sounds like you'd be a good fit, assuming that you like the doctor and the price when you're looking to make a purchasing decision. And they'll say X time. I say, okay, cool. So I'm going to have my general manager call you and we're going to see if we can get you in. You look for same day or next day. They're like, oh, we're super busy. I say, okay, yeah, us too. This advertising has been like absolutely mind blowing. I tell you what, if we can get you in the same day, I think you should do it because we are packed. They go, okay, fine. So that becomes are the leads good enough as an ROI? That becomes the recording. So when someone says, you have pre-results experience case studies, what about the ROI? I just send them the recordings. Like I'm not sending them a case study of me doing an hour-long interview with the perfect testimonial questions on blah, 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 blah. Either because A, they're not going to watch it, or B, because if I'm breaking communication, they can go somewhere else. I would just much rather have a recording of me in my great work and send it to them and push play. And I go, so I can't tell you there's an ROI, but what do you think about this? They go, that's pretty good. I said, look, do you really want me calling you every month asking you about the ROI if these people close? You just want more sales calls. Yeah, I really want. Do you want more shows or like people want me to buy your implants or something like that? They go, actually, yeah, I really want. All right. So that's the same thing. I don't want to call Dr. E every 2 weeks and go like, hey, did they close? What's the ROI? Because that means you think I'm going to increase your fees or blah, blah, blah. So we don't. We just listen to the calls. That's the only thing we can control. So that relieves the ROI experience case studies conversation pretty well. Those are the biggest 2. Like just phrasing it that way makes the sales process a lot easier. But again, a lot of people will think that their like solution is like a stronger selling and stronger objection handling. And I want to take the opposite approach. and go like, the easiest thing you can do to get a sale is just have a really good conversation and a really good product and a really good price. And that'll sell itself. And then you can do some like assisted checkout process. And the objections that I mentioned before are not particularly strong objections. They're really like questions. So where's the Tesla charger? It's that type of question.
Yeah.
It's not full stop. It's, I'm being a boat, I'm moving, which way should I go? And that has helped a lot of my clients spend more money with me. And then I can take that same exact thing and apply it to their business, where I go, look, if your general manager is calling these leads at this respective time, they need to do what I did to you and what I did to the lead, but also to the lead itself. So like, you can't ask like, hey, so you want to pay cash? You can't do that right now. Like, you got to wait for a little bit. You can't squeeze them, right? You can't do like fake urgency. Just be a normal person. Just go, look, we're super packed. Like, these leads are like bringing in 3-5 inquiries a day. And if you want to buy, I hear you loud and clear, we're going to have to make the decision in 48 hours. So why don't you come on in and then we'll make sure you're taken care of. That is a recording of one of the general managers calling back the leads or picking up the phone. And it's totally fine. Everybody's okay with it. Again, because of the ad itself. Like, you nail that and everything ends up being a lot easier as far as like lead generation, selling, fulfillment, all that stuff.
Yeah, I think you bring up a great point about like the way we advertise, the way we sell affects the whole rest of the business. It affects the type of client you get and how that fulfillment goes. And yeah, big on authenticity too. I think the way you approach sales is super chill, but it makes the other person super chill. Nobody wants to be on like a sales call and be drilled with 30 qualification questions. It just puts their guard up.
It's very not dehumanizing, but non-normal. Nobody's going to, I was going to say West Elm, but my wife, who's a designer, says you're not allowed to go to West Elm ever again. But let's just say West Elm, right? So I'm going to West Elm. Imagine I walk in and somebody just hits me with a fucking form fill. Like, oh my God, fine. And then they say, here, could you answer these 15 questions to see if we should be talking to you or set you up with a scheduled call with a salesperson? But no, man, just show me the chair. It's just a lot easier to advertise the chair than it is a full-on transformation. Yeah, like house transformations work and business transformations work and personal transformations. But in the beginning, when you're starting out, it's just so much easier to say, this is what I do. This is the price. And then if people want to buy what you have to sell, because that's like a whole other thing. What if I'm doing it and nobody likes it? All right, let's just spend $100 and then we'll know if people want to buy your stuff really fast. And that's the biggest feedback you can get as an agency owner.
Yeah, quick validation for sure. Awesome, dude. I love the unconventional approaches to lead gen and sales. And I say unconventional because there's so many marketers saying you got to educate, you got to have this long funnel, you got to put your clients through this super long process. But I love how you just flipped it on his head and made it way easier.
And charge them like 10 grand for 3 months. I'm like, dude, that's fine. You can do that if you want, but the selling costs are going to be through the roof. Like 20% selling costs is a lot. Like, people forget the average commission is like 15% on the high end, 10%. Usually it's closer to 8 to 10, like at a big company. And the bigger the numbers, the smaller the commission. So if you're doing like massive commissions, it's because there's something about your business that requires a lot of touching. And then, by the way, you'll get a salesperson who doesn't want to do any touching. It's just, oh my God, it's meant for frustration. So 20% is massive. Okay. And then you got to pay for ads, which is another 20%. So immediately you're working on 60% of your $100. And that sucks a lot. Or you just have a product and price ad. You're getting a really fast return on investment. Your fulfillment takes 30 minutes. And now all of a sudden your numbers move in the right direction. Like, your selling costs should be 10 to 15%. For most agencies, it's 45. You're like, my God, man, like that just sucks, which is why your fulfillment sucks, which is why your sales calls take too long, because you're just spending so much money on advertising something people don't want. So if you nail the ad and then you nail the sales process, again, everything is just so much easier. I know that Rami just said, how do you handle if the person on the call is not the decision maker? That disappears completely when you're just advertising your product and your price. I have dealt with receptionists at my clients and my dentist offices, and I've never talked to the dentist. I don't care. Who's the decision maker? The person with the credit card that saw the ad. That's it. End of discussion. Like, I don't have to climb the rank and go, oh my God, I just want to talk to the dentist. Like, you don't have to do that. Like, it's just a person with a credit card. That's the decision maker. And when you run an ad that has the price and the schedule, that's a decision maker right there. That's not a big deal. By the way, I've also sold, it was the dentist's dad who gave him a gift. And I think they were in Wisconsin or something like that. And he's like, hey, I'm giving my son a gift. I'm buying him marketing for his business. So you can make an argument that if I was trying to climb the decision making, I would be hitting the wrong person. So instead of just advertise, and then the people that don't sign up are not decision makers. It's very self-filtering. It's very useful.
Yeah, self-filtering for sure. Cool. I think there's one other question. Let's see. Oh, Apple Verde says landed multiple clients because of Jeff's Lunch and Learns. Yeah, you guys definitely got to head over to his Facebook group and check those out.
Dude, go get rich and make some money, dude. Have a good time.
For sure. Boyd's here. What's up, Will? What's up, Eddie? Oh, Jason has a question too. Jason, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi, Jeff. Great stuff.
That's good, Jason. Appreciate it.
So I'm starting my agency and I'm thinking about which service to offer. One of my concerns with lead gen is that the client, I did a little bit of stuff like that years ago for real estate agents. And my concern is that the client is going to be pretty annoyed with inevitably some of the leads are going to be garbage.
Yeah, the quality conversation. Yeah.
For me, it's almost like I do lead gen or some other service because with lead gen, there's a lot of that. You get a lot of that feedback. And you talked about it a bit, but maybe you can talk a little bit about how to mitigate that risk.
Yeah. So there's two questions. One of them is, if I do what I want to do, will it work and will people be happy? The second is, should I do something else? Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, cool. In real estate, there's 5 or 6 or 7 different products inside of the industry. So you have like buyers, right? Like buyer leads. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And then you have the sellers, which is also a different type of lead, right?
Absolutely. And that's the one that's probably the most in demand typically.
Right. But then there's other ones. Aren't there other kind of leads? There's not just buyers and sellers. There's also like wholesalers, right?
There's wholesalers. There's people looking for mortgages. I'm a real estate investor. That's actually what I've been doing for the last 17 years.
There's a whole bunch of stuff, right? So the default of the first question is really a product question. Which of all the products or which of all the types of leads do my people want? And I'll bet if you did a survey, you'll find out people don't really want buyer leads anymore.
Right.
And people actually don't want seller leads anymore. I think what they want, again, I'm not in real estate, but what I've been seeing on the internet is that they want listing appointments. That's what they want. Which is
if
different.
If you're talking about real estate agents, and that's
Right.
again, we can talk about agents versus providing services to investors, but for agents, I would say that's correct.
So if I were doing the real estate agency space, I would just run an ad saying, get unlimited or get X number or get blah, blah, blah listing appointments that are worth more than a $500 house or whatever the qualification metrics are for X price. So you got to play with that languaging. But everyone that's done like real estate agency, like they try to do buyers or sellers, but it's really not buyers or sellers. Nobody's jumping up and down. It's listing appointments and then it's investors. So you mentioned that you're an investor. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
So why can't that be a service that you provide? Hey, I'm a real estate investor and I connect wholesalers to investors using my agency service, which is a different product altogether. Is that right?
Yeah, no, it definitely can be a service I provide. My main concern is, I guess, quality control and not having a bunch of pissed off agents or clients because they're.
So here's the second part of the first bucket, which is how do we know that our stuff works and how do you make sure that there's a quality control and all that? So if you think of any major factory, what they're doing is they're taking inputs, doing 5 or 6 different steps. At the end of it, they do quality control, right? When the quality control says something is wrong, they go ahead and they fix the line. And then they'll do it again, quality control, fix the line. So they have this 6 Sigma continuous improvement process. What most agencies do is they go, fuck it. We'll send you another batch. We'll send you another batch. We'll send you another batch, knowing that percentage will be bad. So here's what we did. So we got the inputs, which are like leads, and we put them into our CRM, which is our factory. And then we do stuff to them. Like we'll text them, we'll call them, we'll walk them through a qualification conversation, usually by text message, 2 or 3 questions in a row. Very rarely do we send like a whole form, all of that. Maybe we'll use a bot every now and then, but you have to go through that qualification process. And if somebody bombs 5 questions in a row, they could be good fit, but I'm not going to send my way to my client. So that's what I mentioned earlier, like out of 10, 7 don't pass muster. If we were like gathering strawberries in a field and somebody wants to buy my strawberries, I'm throwing out the bad ones.
That's good, but it's going to raise the cost per lead. So you have to train your clients that they're going to be paying more per lead, but they're getting better leads.
So I don't have the cost per lead conversation. What I will say is, again, a different industry, maybe this applies to you, maybe it doesn't, which is, hey, Mr. Johnson, look, your success is based upon your budget. And we don't measure cost per lead. What we measure is cost per phone call or cost per qualified phone call that we send to you. Sometimes it's going to be $150 for good conversation. And they go, yeah, sure, that's fine. What do I care? And then they go, what type of results? I go, look, if you spend $30, $40, $50 a day, you'll probably get 2 or 3 good conversations a week, which turns into $150 or $180, $200 per qualified phone call. But that ends up being a much easier yes to the right people more consistently, which is saying, yeah, your cost is going to be all sorts of weird, but what do you care? You want phone calls, right? So we measure cost per phone call, and we won't know that until the end of 6 weeks. And then that objection falls out the window really fast. And then what happens is if they argue the calls are any good, I can just send them the recording. I go, here's the whole fucking phone call, Mr. Johnson. Like this person, again, in dental space, they got 750 credit score. They've been shopping around for a while. They got $15,000 down. They want to come in next day. How much more can I do for you? So then they take ownership of it. So that's what we do.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. So you just reframing the conversation a bit and their expectation.
Correct. So like the product is what preemptively destroys that objection. So I don't give my clients leads. I give them phone calls. They don't even see the leads. If they want, we can do an export, but they're not getting text messages saying, hey, we got a lead, we got a lead, we got a lead. What's happening is they're getting a phone call and it's my operator on the line saying, hey, I got a live one for you. I'm going to connect you to, you guys take it from there. And then we send them a text message receipt. So they know the phone calls from us. And that has completely destroyed, gone, not even a conversation. It's not an objection, it just doesn't exist. So if I were in your shoes saying, if I did it, would people like it? And is the quality there? You can have as many qualification hurdles as you want in your own CRM. And you can just hire an operator for $500 a month, maybe $1,000 a month. They'll go through every single lead, every single phone call, go through an entire questionnaire, and then live transfer to your client. And then you don't have to worry about quality ever again.
The lead, for lack of a better word, just to clarify something, the lead is calling them or you're calling the lead?
So we call the lead, get them on the phone, confirm the information, go, look, we got a general manager that's open to a conversation right now. Can we put you on hold? You'll talk with them directly, make sure you take care. They go, okay. Put them on hold, call the lead or call the client. Yeah, we got a live one connecting you now. Connect the calls. And you can do that into GHL, clicking patch call. And then go, hey, Mr. Johnson, I got Alex on the line. Alex, you tell me if I'm wrong here, but you've got, I'll make up these numbers. These won't make any sense to you.
Yeah.
But it looks like you're selling your house. You're looking for $1 million. It's a 3-bedroom in Laguna Beach, something like that. Is that about right? Okay, cool. And you've been looking for a real estate agent for a while. You're not really 100% sure, but you're open to the conversation. Is that correct? Okay, cool. So this is Alex. Alex, me, Mr. Johnson. He's in the Laguna Beach area, not too far from you. And I don't know his schedule, but I'm going to connect you guys, make sure you're taken care of. And then we connect and then we exit the call. So now Mr. Johnson, he cannot argue about quality. I just introduced him. He cannot argue about the leads not calling people back. I just introduced him. He cannot argue about yield. I just introduced him. And that has done a lot of good things for agency. So I don't think you're having that type of setup. Is that correct?
Again, I'm just getting started, so I'm trying to figure out which way to go. I'm jumping from the real estate investing, which I'm going to keep doing, but I'm trying to start an agency as well. So, no, thank you. It's been very helpful. The numbers did make sense because I'm in California. So,
oh, there you go. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, should be a 1-bedroom for $3 million. Yeah.
Yeah. Real quick, last question is: are they giving you then like a calendar link where it's saying, okay, you can transfer calls to me between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. or?
Great question. So for us, our clients have normal operation hours and they've got a dedicated front desk. So as long as it's been like 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 on their time zone, it's totally kosher. For real estate agents, they will fight you on that and say, but what if I'm busy or what if blah, blah, blah? Say, hey, here, loud and clear, you're going to give me some times that you're available for a phone call. Okay. And then we're only going to call you during those times. And they can't be the same. I need you to stagger that shit. Okay. So like Monday, 9 a.m. to 10, Wednesday from noon to 4, like it can't just be a block, right? You got to stagger it. And we're going to keep that way for a month. And they go, oh my God. Yeah. Do you want to grow your business or not? Stop like dicking around. They go, okay, fine. Yeah, so they give it to us and then we put it into a Google Doc. And then inside of GHL, you can have a tag pop up like per lead. So that's how you have everything inside of your big CRM. Like I have all the squares and then the client's name tag is on the lead. And then my operator calls and only calls during those times. And then, okay, cool. We can connect to somebody right now. And then just does the call. If we're doing like mass reactivation or mass text or something like that, then we'll just leave it there until the next day during that rotation and that time. And it just takes 5 or 7 iterations and your VAs and your admins learn the signatures of different schedules and all that. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Like, hey, are you available Tuesdays and Thursdays from 2 to 3? Okay, cool. How about Monday, Wednesday, Friday? All right, cool. That's the times that we'll do the live transfers. That's it. And then you're good.
Okay, thank you very much, Jeff. This has been very helpful. I appreciate it.
Did I answer your question? Yes, no, maybe? That's what you're looking
for.
You
absolutely did. And it's
cool.
been very helpful. And I really appreciate this. And I'll definitely be listening to the recording. And I don't know if you come on these calls again, but it's been
good stuff.
For sure. I know you got to bounce at the top of the hour, Jeff, but appreciate you kicking it with us.
Catch you later, right?
Cheers.
Peace out.